Welcome friends. So today I'm going to share a Harvest Host location that I went to. I met Teresa there. She was driving back to Ohio and she was stopping in OKC, so we met up for the evening. And can you believe I got a knock there? Yeah, I got a knock at a Harvest Host. Crazy people. They just, I don't know. Teresa had already left, and there was a fifth wheel that was parked to the left of the area when I pulled in. And then I went around the building because that's where the guy told me to park, and that's where Teresa was. And about 8:30, Teresa left, I guess, a little after 7. So I decided, well, I'm just kind of gonna hang for a little bit. I was gonna have some coffee, and so I just kind of decided to lay back down because I didn't sleep very good the night before. So at 8:30, I hear this bam, 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 bam on my window, my passenger side window. And it was a woman. She said, "Hey, oh, I'm so glad you're in there. Can you move your van?" I'm like, okay. I mean, obviously I wasn't rude, but I was visibly agitated and irritated, I guess. Irritated that she did that. And I said, "Where would you like for me to move?" So she hollers at her husband. He's probably maybe 30 yards away. And I said, "But I'm not moving. I'm not going to pull into the grass," because we had just gotten rain all night long, like a lot of rain. And I wasn't going to damage their grass, and I didn't want to take a chance on getting stuck. And so she says, "Where do you want her to move?" Hollering at her husband, and he points. And she said she's not moving in the grass. So then he says, "Pull behind him." So I went around and I pulled behind him, and I'm kind of doing my own thing, just kind of figuring out what I'm going to do. So I just said screw it, and I decided to go home. So as I'm pulling out the long driveway, we'll say long, it's probably, I'm trying to like gauge by football fields, maybe a football field long, so 100 yards. And they're just sitting in the driveway, and there's no other way out. And so I wait a couple of minutes, I'm being patient, I don't honk my horn, and they finally leave. But I'm like, people, come on. I blame part of this on the Harvest Host because he was telling us where to park and how to park. But I did leave a review. It was a beautiful spot. I'll show some video and a few photos. And then around 7:30 that night, the night before, we saw some deer. Well, Teresa was inside her van, but I saw some deer and I got a quick video. But the minute I popped my door open, they heard me and they ran off. But definitely a really cool spot for the night. Ooh, and that reminds me, I have not Venmo'd him money yet, and I plan to. I just haven't yet. Oh wow, I just realized. Sorry about that. So yeah, I need to send him some money. But it's like 56 acres. It used to be a horse farm. Super, really pretty. It's got 2 ponds, a really nice fire pit. I would probably consider going there again. So, all right, enough of that. So what else is going on? I'm moving out of my house. 95% sure my daughter has secured a house to live in New Mexico. So we plan on leaving on April 30th. I'm going to follow her with the cats in the van. So this is a new, because I originally was going to take her kitten, but now that she has a house, she can have both of the cats. So plus I was thinking about how it would be hard to manage doing things on the road, and a couple of my friends that I asked their advice about it, they reminded me of some things that I did over the summer that I can't do in the summertime with a cat, like go to a hot springs for the day. There's just too many things that I can't do with a pet, and I'm not ready to give that up right now. And technically it is my daughter's cat, even though she's kind of bonded with me. but it keeps the cats together even though they don't like each other. But they tolerate each other. But so I will be following my daughter. We will stay the night somewhere in New Mexico, probably Tucumcari, if I'm saying that right. And then head on into Taos after that. So it's really cool. My daughter's 27, and she knew last fall she had visited. She did what was it? Well, she was in Santa Fe for a pet sitting gig, and then she did something. Oh, she stayed at this Airbnb on her way to Santa Fe. Or she went up to Taos for the day, or for a couple days. I think she wanted to go to Taos. That's what it was. She stayed at this Airbnb, fell in love with it. She ended up connecting really well with that lady, and she went back in December and pet sat for, I think like a week and a half in December. And she pretty much made it a goal that she wanted to move there, and everything's kind of just happened, and I'm really proud of her, and I'm excited for her. We'll know more later this week once we get the lease from the owners. So anyway, lots of changes coming about. But another thing I wanted to hit on it's something that's been on my mind for a while, and I wanted to do a video about it. And then I saw Beverly's video yesterday when she was talking about her doctor's appointments and her medical team being in Oklahoma, or not Oklahoma, sorry, Florida. And that's when I said, well, my medical team is in Oklahoma. So I am working out how to get my prescriptions. Luckily, most of my medications, all but one, is a mail order. So I'm trying to figure out, like, I plan to be back in September, so I think I'll be okay. But if I need prescriptions, I do have a good friend in Colorado Springs that will receive medication for me. And then if my daughter ends up, living in Taos, that's a great location because I love New Mexico. And then of course I have another friend in Arizona that would be happy to accept mail for me. So, that's something that as you get older and you're on prescriptions, you have to navigate that and know how to get your medications. One of my disease, I have a blood clot disorder, so I have to be on blood thinners. And I think that's probably the most important medication that I have to have. I am on a few others, but they're not as life-threatening, I guess, than having a blood disorder and not having your blood clot medication. So that is something that, as nomads, that if you are on medication, you have to figure out how you're going to get your medications if you leave your home base. Right now, I don't plan on changing my home base information because I have an amazing medical team here. Just amazing. I'll just say this. I was diagnosed in November of 21 in Colorado Springs with this blood clot disorder. And because it happened in my head, I went to a neurologist. She never pushed for me to go see a hematologist. So when I got here and I found a primary doctor in Oklahoma, she referred me to a hematologist, and he did all this blood work. And I'll tell you what, within 30 days, he knew exactly what was wrong with me, and I would be on blood thinners for life. So that's kind of my segue into going to talk about, just briefly, about how you got to advocate for yourself when it comes to your health. I think a lot of times we trust too much in what the doctors tell us or don't tell us. So, definitely advocate for yourself. And I don't want to give up this medical team because they're amazing. So as long as, you know, I come home or I come back to Oklahoma, which I will basically, it is my, even though I don't have a home here, it's still going to be my home base. I have an address here in Norman. And then, so, yeah. So, you know, just think about those things. Those are things we definitely have to think about when we're on the road. You know, how close is our medical team? Can you get medications on the road? Especially if you're gone for more than 90 days, because a lot of times 90 days is the most that you can get. So anyway, I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. I'm busy packing, donating, going to storage. My van has an appointment tomorrow to get an oil change, tires rotated, and an alignment. So I guess that's it. Enjoy this footage of the Harvest Host that Teresa and I went to. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And remember, live life now, because tomorrow is never promised. Thank you. So this Harvest Host has a couple of ponds and a wonderful fire pit. Hi. Hello. Hi, baby girl. Hello. I hear you. Hello. Thanks for coming to say hi, Jinxie.
Optimized, and I know she sees all the faults in it, but...
Hi.
You moving out? Did you find a new apartment?
Hey, Jinxie. Hi, thanks for coming to say hi. Oh, I scared them. I saw them through my windshield, and so I came out here.